Reba?
Yes.
We got some hot goss.
Hot
It's
goss.
so hot that it has popped and made popcorn. We're
It's
talking about Shucked the musical.
Oh, are you not clever?
I know, I really tried.
Well, okay, so what is Shucked about?
Okay, so Shucked, I had to look up a little review, but it's basically about a town that is surrounded by a tall wall of corn. So it's just the corniest musical you've ever seen.
The corniest, that's great.
And it's very like, they don't really tell you a lot about it. So he's kind of one of those, they were very ambiguous. I think that's the right word.
Yes.
So people came to go see Shucked because they didn't do a lot of PR about it. They didn't really show people a lot about it. And it's still kind of that way.
Yeah.
But something came out about the show that I think maybe they didn't want publicity on, but it did come out in the tabloids. What happened?
All right, so I have to read you this. This was on somebody's blog, which I think is like incredibly fortunate for us. At last night's performance of Shucked, one of the producers came out and announced that because there were so many illnesses among the cast, that they would instead, and at full price, perform a staged reading of the show, scripts in hand with no dancing. Most of the audience already there stayed, either because they were already there or because they felt like it would be rude to get up and leave. Curious to know other people's thoughts, this person thought it was outrageous, both theft and fraud, and having people pay a lot of money for a production that wasn't even really presented. That's pure greed. Performances should have been canceled and refunds given or new dates scheduled. I personally think that if I went to a show expecting to get a full-blown musical and all of a sudden they came out and they told me that they were going to stand there with their scripts in hand, sing it but not dance it, and everybody's going to read it, I would be furious. Because that's not what I paid $129 for. That being said, I'm going to be transparent and say that years ago, we had one of our cast members who got really sick on one of the performances. And so we had one actor who had been in the show and was not ready to necessarily be a swing or step in or do anything. And he had a binder with a script and he tried to do as much as he could from memory, but there's a lot of it that he was reading from. And I didn't even think about just canceling the show. I just didn't think about it because I thought, I feel like we can give them enough of a performance.
Right. And
some people might not even notice that he's reading.
Everyone else is acting. It's just one person. I think you brought up my issue. And my number one issue is we just learned about, and we'll put it up here, swings, understudies, and standbys. Shucked has a lot of money. Shucked should have swings, standbys in place if this happens. You're telling me, and this is like, maybe they should have said this, all of our swings in all of Broadway, all of our standbys in all of Broadway, everyone is sick and ill. Maybe I would have said, maybe. But at that point, I think you should. No,
I think that with everything that we've been feeling about COVID, if you have so many people that are ill that you cannot do the performance, maybe the audience doesn't want to be there either because maybe people are really sick. I mean, even if it's only the stomach flu, if like I've got 50 people around me that have the stomach flu, I do not want to sit there.
But even maybe I'm saying like that's not going to happen. Like like how are all like I think that's so is it it would be interesting to find out, is it Shucked being, and he said you said I don't know if I have to agree that it's theft. But it is because they're like, it's our money, and we're keeping it, and we're not giving you what we agreed upon.
No, right.
Like, I'm not saying get a lawyer, but...
It's almost like a contract when you're buying a ticket, right? So it's like you're buying a ticket thinking that you're going to get some semblance of a performance.
Yes.
And yet, you don't. You have people that are just standing up here doing... I mean, stage readings, people are when somebody is like doing the early stages of trying to find out if somebody's going to produce your play or not. When you're writing it, you give staged readings for people to like check it out and see if they want to support it or whatever. It's like, this is so far below what you pay $120 a ticket for.
And like how prideful of them, because I think the only time I've ever seen a stage reading go well is anytime when someone does Shakespeare, and it's because it's Shakespeare. Right. So for them to say, our content is good enough for you to have paid me $150, $200 to see me just read my content, okay, Shucked. Did your Tony go to your head?
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly. I mean, now, I also think that if you have if you have enough people that are there that can do a staged reading, does that mean that you could give us a concert at least? Just give us a concert. It's like, maybe there are things you couldn't do, but maybe there are other alternatives that you could have done. Yes. And maybe you could have said, we're also going to give you a free CD as you're walking out or something. There's things that they could have done other than to be so full of themselves that they think, hey, no, we don't care. You're just fortunate to be sitting in our theater. We don't really have to give you anything. You're just sitting here. You're paying us $120 or more a seat just to be here. I mean, give me more. Have the people come out and talk to me.
Make it special. Give me something. You know? And I think actually that they brought up in the thing too, like, well, yeah, people stayed because you're sitting there and you're like, well, I'm not getting my money back. I'll stay. But then from the stage's view, it's, everyone's fine with this. I'm going to take their staying as they're accepting it.
Right.
Instead of their staying as, I have nothing else to do tonight because I came to see the show and I just spent $200.
I would be so upset. Like when we were on Broadway, right?
We were on Broadway.
It did sound good the way I said that, right? Like when I was on Broadway, right when I got my Tony. No, when we were there, we had X number of times that we could go see a show, right? And so we had to decide which ones we were going to go to at the time, and there were others that we really wanted to see. We talked about Shucked. We did, and so we could have actually picked that. If we had picked Shucked, and it had been that performance that they had done that.
Can you imagine? We would have been during intermission like, guys, do we have a tale for you?
I mean, I would have been so upset, right? Because we only had 4 times that we could come see shows, and to see one and not see it.
And you're choosing against another show.
Yes.
So these people who paid for Shucked didn't even get Shucked now, and they could have gone to New York. They could have gone to Sweeney Todd and actually gotten a show.
So unfair to the audience member. You guys deserve more than that. You do. I hope I never do anything to treat you guys like that. I mean, honestly.
Yeah.
I think it's, honestly, despicable. That's a strong word.
It's greedy. It really is.
Wrong.
It showed where their heart was. Yes. And it's...
I mean, maybe you didn't know in time to give us an announcement, but walk out there and say, look, guys, we're going to give you a free certificate. We're going to redo the show. You know, we're going to give you, you can turn in your tickets for
this
for another time. Yeah. But if you want to stay here because you have no other place to be, we're going to give you a stage reading.
But it was
that would have been classy.
Be classy, Shucked. I know it's a musical at Korn and it's kind of hard, but no. and it's also like there are stand-ins that find out an hour before. Like, where were those? Like, where's the contingency plan? They were all sick.
Everybody got COVID, and I mean, I don't know if it was COVID, right?
That's my thing. Whatever. I'm like, it would have been.
It ran through the cast, like.
And everyone else, though, it's so hard to believe. And with more information maybe coming out later, we'll find out. But with the information we got and with what it sounds like, I think you're right. They could have done a classy thing. They chose to do a very easy route. And it's not fair. And I'm glad we weren't in the audience because we would be like, hey, Chuck.
Hey, we need a lawyer.
We need a lawyer. We need it fast.
So what...
Does it make me not want to see Shucked? 100%, yes.
Does it really?
Yes, it's a cheap musical to me, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You want to still see it.
I don't know. I don't know that I wanted to see it in the first place.
I think I wanted more information. I don't like going to things that don't have a lot of information, and I thought it was kind of like weird that they weren't giving out a lot of info, and I get it was a publicity thing, but for me, there was so much information about all the other plays and musicals. I'm like, well, I want to go see that because
we know about it.
Like the Britney Spears gave you a lot of information about it, and like all the other ones, this one was like, you're being a little too
corny.
You're being too corny. So
how many corn jokes can you leave below? We'd like to hear them. When I was a kid, there was a television program called Hee Haw, and when they had this big cornfield behind them, and they would come out and they'd pop up from the cornfield and they'd say, "Hey, so and so, hey, so and so," and then they tell a joke and then they sink back into the corn. And so every time I see pictures of Shucked, that's all I can think about is like hee haw. Gotcha. Right. That's what it reminds me of, and so I don't know if I want to see it. So if you want to make us go see Shucked,
we only need 43 new followers.
43 new followers, and we can be in that audience of Shucked.
Think about it. If 5 people made 10 fake accounts, we're there. kidding. No, but yeah, tell your friends, tell your family, send this to someone, say subscribing is still free.
I mean, and who doesn't like this little bit of laughter in your life?
Come on. But yeah, it really would mean a lot to us. We love putting out content like this. We love talking about it. We love laughing. We love being mad at Shucked for...
And we love your comments. So if you have something that you think would make a really great thing for us to talk about, we would love for you to send it to us. And if you want to be a guest on our show, let us know what you want to come on and talk about, because maybe you could be next.
Yeah.
Right here.
Right here. We'll make a little space for you.
So, until next time... This is just me.
And me.
Talking to you.
From the wings.